Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I have just a quick video. So I'm in my car. Um, I get home at like 10 today, so I didn't want to, wake up my family with, me making a video or whatever, and they get very mad when I do that. So I'm going to just do it now on my lunch break. So basically, tomorrow I am attempting, really, I think I will be able to get it. In my heart, it feels like I think I'll be able to get it. But I am attempting to get a Disneyland Magic Key, which is, if you don't know what that is, it's their annual pass. Obviously, there's many tiers to that. I'm getting the lowest tier one to start, just to see what it's like, and then upgrading from there if I really, really like it. Because the only reason I'm even doing that is because I've heard things that people really don't like Magic Keys, and I've also heard things that they're great, which the people who really don't like them tend to be from the lower tiers, and the people really do are like at the top two, so I don't know. This is really a big test for me to see how this works. Obviously, situation for parking is fucked, because parking's with my discount, which only applies to the Toy Story parking area, it'll be like $26 to park, which I have many other ways to park that are outside of Disneyland jurisdiction that are like $1, but you have to take public bus into Disneyland. It's like a 10-minute bus ride in, but you're only paying $1 for parking. No, not $1 for parking, $1 for the fucking bus ride. That's crazy. So that's probably what I'll be doing. But my whole thing is, if I can get this situated and I can get the pass, and I can get the parking thing and have a good system going there, I could start doing content there potentially, which would be really cool. And that's something that I've wanted to do forever, is do Disneyland content stuff. And it's like, I could do Downtown Disney stuff, but that's just not that thrilling to me, and this channel's about George at the end of the day. And, those videos still have to reflect that. It's not going to be like, oh, look, the fucking Winnie the Pooh ride. So really, it would be Galaxy's Edge Star Tours content. That's really what it would be. And really assessing and analyzing how things are at the parks, in terms of being real Star Wars or not, and in terms of doing a good job or not. That's really what it would be. And so far, the Disney parks have blown it out of the fucking ballpark with everything other than the Galactic Star Cruiser. Oh God, we don't talk about that. But everything else has been really great so far. So, it would really be like, new lightsabers at Dok-Ondar's, or new, merchandise that is from the George films. It's still very much a George Lucas-based thing. It's not like your typical Disneyland content creator who doesn't know shit about Star Wars and is like, oh yeah, I love the Resistance and the blah, 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 blah. I won't be like that. It'll still be me. It'll still be the channel. It'll still be about George, but, just in a different way, and looking at the parks physically and actually being there, which I think would be fun. And luckily enough, a lot of the parks would just be celebrating Star Wars, to be honest with you. A lot of it really is just really well done, to an extent where, I don't know, there's nothing to really whine about, nothing to have to call out, because for the most part, it's just really well done. Even though Galaxy's Edge is set in the time period between Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, to me personally, it's really, to me, understated, and walking through there still really feels like Star Wars. The way they designed Batuu feels like Star Wars to me. It's just the way it's weathered, and there's a bunch of, hidden little callbacks to the George movies, and, the droids, and all this stuff everywhere. It's in the Falcon, and it, sure, there's Kylo Ren and Rey walking around, but, other than that, it's just like, it's Star Wars, bro. I mean, in all the shops, they have stuff from all the George stuff, you know? So it's like, it's not super, super sequel-y, which is what, you know, some of my peers and fellow Star Wars fans online, you know, they don't really go to Galaxy's Edge because they just think that it's all sequels. And it's like, sure, it's set in that time, but like the feel, the themes, the vibe is still very much Star Wars, even though there's First Order troopers around, which doesn't matter because they're stormtroopers. They're not breaking character. They act exactly like Imperial troopers. Why? Because they're just a carbon copy, you know, with higher tech armor. That's all it is. Kylo Ren, me personally, this is a personal thing. I don't have a big issue with Kylo Ren. You know, conceptually, I think he's a very cool character. Obviously, the way they did him in the movies is fucked, but in Galaxy's Edge, it doesn't matter because it's a theme park. You know, you're not in the middle of well, no, you're not watching a horrible fucking movie. You're just with the characters. So, you know, I don't mind Kylo Ren. And Rey, it's like, just, that's the cool thing about being there. Just turn your head the other way. Or even better, she doesn't have a lightsaber. You know, she just has a staff. So she's like little Rey on Jakku, where she's not a Jedi, she's not a Skywalker. You know, she's just like this thing. So they did a good job there. They didn't give her that crazy role. And, you know, Chewie is Chewie. R2 is R2. Mando is sick. Boba is sick. Luke is awesome, right? Like, there's so many. Ahsoka's great. Like, there's so many other characters that they've added that aren't sequel trilogy, you know, that, like Luke, straight from George, you know? So it's like, I don't know. I really like Galaxy's Edge. And I understand the criticism and whatever. I get it. But for me personally, I really enjoy it, and I don't think it strays far away from George Lucas' Star Wars. And, you know, George was, from what we've heard, he was impressed with it, you know, and he really liked Smuggler's Run, and was like, it's Star Tours on crack, you know, and that they did a great job, and it's like the next step in technology, and, you know, so he really, and he was like, it's like being on a movie set, you know, so he thought it was really cool, too, and, you know, I'm kind of like, with George there, you know, he doesn't, that's the thing, is he never lies about things. He won't say, oh, I really like this, when he doesn't, you know, he will just be like, either not speak or say it's bad, you know, he's never going to be like, oh yeah, it's great, and then secretly like, no. So, you know, he enjoyed it, and I'm like, I enjoy it, I think it's Star Wars, and so does the creator. He enjoys it and likes it, whatever, so I'm like, then maybe there's not really an issue here, you know, and that's the thing, is there's a lot of thinking and, oh this, oh that, you know, think this way, but just feel it, honestly. That's what I'd say, is you should just feel it. You should just feel the Star Wars kind of radiating from something to know it's Star Wars. That's really what it is. It's like, if you're really in Star Wars and you feel it and you know it, then you can detect it semi-spiritually. You just feel it. You're like this, you just know inside it's Star Wars. You know, and that's what I feel walking through Galaxy's Edge. And obviously Star Tours, which is literally started out only 1 through 6, and the entire queue and all of that is just 1 through 6. You know, so it's like, that's George Lucas's baby at Disneyland. So obviously there's no issue there. But yeah, you know, I think making content there would be really cool. And it would also bring a new audience to the channel too. It would bring Disneyland fans and Galaxy's Edge fans to the channel who might not have seen me before, you know, which would be good for growth. And you still have me. So it's still going to be respectful of George. We're not going to put Disney's shit above George. You know, it's going to be very much like a George thing, which will be cool. But yeah, I don't know. So crossing my fingers. I'll let you guys know tomorrow if that happens, if I do manage to secure one. But yeah, till then, pray for me, and I'll see you guys soon. God bless. Have a good night. May the Force be with you. Bye-bye.